You need guppies in your tank, and here's why. What's up, fish freaks? Welcome back to N8 Aquatics. Today we're going to be talking about guppies and more specifically why I think you need them in your fish room. Ironically enough, I used to be a bit of a guppy hater because I didn't really like the idea of the crazy inbred strains and the crazy genetics. I personally have had a lot of failure with fancy guppies, a lot of failure with wild type guppies, where you get them and unfortunately, similar to neon tetras, they just seemingly die out of nowhere. But that all changed last year when I met Only Guppies, and he hooked me up with some of the best guppies I've ever seen in my life. These guppies were imported by Only Guppies and then quarantined at his facility until they were sold to me. And these guppies were so nice that it actually inspired me to get more guppies for my entire fish room. So that leads me into the point, why do I think that you need guppies for your fish room? Well, I think that most people overlook guppies because they breed a lot, they are cheap, and they aren't very rare. Any local fish store usually has guppies available at any given time and of any kind of quality. So then what makes them so important in the fish room? Well, let's start with some of the keeping requirements. Guppies require one of the easiest environments to mimic in our aquariums, which makes them very suitable for beginners. They can tolerate a wide variety of water parameters such as pH and hardness, and they just generally are happy fish. You don't need to do anything special to your water like you may have to do with a blackwater fish or with a brackish fish. With guppies, you can just acclimate them and put them straight into your tank once the cycle's finished. This makes them a very accessible fish, and the risk of losing them upon buying them is actually smaller than some other fancier fish. On top of that, they're very easy to feed. All I really do is just feed them once or twice a day with Sarah Guppy granules, and that's basically it. For my fancy guppies, this keeps them alive. I'll occasionally give them some of our N8 Aquatics Artenia if I want to boost their colors even more for a video, or just to get their fins growing, but for the most part, it's just feeding them prepared dried foods. Unlike bristlenose or other species, they do best if you make them some food such as zucchinis or beans, or even fish that require pure carnivore diets such as live food, frozen food, all that kind of stuff. Those fish can be a bit intimidating for beginners. And that's where guppies shine. They are so accessible, they are so easy to keep, and also they won't eat all of your plants. Take it from me, I keep Bosmani and I can't keep any long grass type plant. As you can see, some of my val in the back here are dying, and it's because the Bosmani will not leave them alone. They just pull them out, and I've actually seen Bosmanis swimming in the tank with long pieces of val this long in their mouth, just hanging out. It's insane. So guppies just won't do that. They won't destroy your aquarium, which makes them also suitable for our next point. They are excellent nano tank fish. I keep and breed pseudomugil species, but they require a little bit more care than guppies. And that's why guppies are actually the perfect nano tank fish. You can keep multiple guppies in one tank as they have such a small tank footprint. And if you keep all males, you'll never have to worry about a population explosion. And they won't lose any of their color just because there's no females. The males will pretty much always keep their color even if they're with other males, whereas certain fish like rainbow fish, if they don't have a member of the opposite sex to attract, they can end up losing a lot of their color. This is why if you have a small 60-liter aquarium or even smaller, you can keep many guppies in one little tank. I personally have kept a little nano aquarium with 10 guppies in it, and it was only around 10 to 15 liters. They actually thrived really well, and I had to move them because I was kind of stupid and I included females and males, so you can imagine what happened. And that's actually going to lead me into my final point, which is activity. This is one that everyone always forgets about when they're buying a fish. They might see a fish look really pretty and they think, wow, that's going to be awesome in my tank, I can't wait to get it in there. And then they'll put it in the tank and they'll never see the fish again. It'll either be nocturnal or it'll just be a very inactive fish. Maybe it just sits around and eats around on the substrate, or maybe it just hides and waits for the right moment to come out. Take gudgeons, for example. They barely ever move. They just sit on the bottom of the ground and kind of do their thing. Guppies are not like that. If your guppy is sitting around doing nothing, there's a very high chance there is something wrong. I've kept hundreds of guppies now within these last few months and sold many guppies, and I will tell you this, that a healthy guppy is an active guppy. They're always swimming around, showing off their long flowing fins, spowering up against each other, and if you've got males and females in a tank, you'll always be able to watch them doing their breeding activity with the males using his gonopodium to try and get the female. It's really quite funny to watch, but my point is they are active. They're always interesting. There's always going to be something to watch. You don't want to get boring fish that you just will never enjoy because that's going to make you hate the hobby, and that's where guppies shine. They're attractive, they're colorful, they're funny, they're cute, they've got the big googly eyes that are always staring at you looking for even more food. Yeah, they're just one of the best fish, and that's why, in my opinion, even if you're the biggest guppy hater out there like I was, do yourself a favor, do your fish room a favor, and pick up some guppies. Trust me, you will love them. They are so awesome. They're awesome to keep. If you want to breed them, you can breed them, and if you want to buy some guppies, I have some linked in the description for sale on n8aquatics.com. We have more fish there, hatchable brine shrimp, so check out our website, and that's going to do it for this video, fish freaks. As always, like the video, and if you want to become a fish freak, splash the subscribe button to N8 Aquatics, because I have weekly videos coming up that you don't want to miss.